start anytime you want.
Hi, welcome to Guangzhou Expat channel. We are here at the GOAT with the partner Rob Turnbull. Welcome so much to our channel.
Thank you. Welcome to the GOAT.
So we are really excited to be here with Rob to discuss the restaurant business in Guangzhou. And you have this new place opening, but I think this is not where your story started. So if we go back a few years, I think. So how did you end up here in Guangzhou and starting a restaurant? Was Brew the first one?
Brew was the first restaurant that I was a partner in. When Hooley's Irish Pub first opened, I managed there, and then from there, I did a few other things, and then we opened the Brew in Panyu. The first Brew in Panyu, I proposed to my wife,
Wow.
and we actually had our wedding at the Brew Panyu.
Oh, wow.
And that was the beginning of my love with restaurants in Guangzhou.
Yeah, I have quite a many, early memories from the Panyu Brew as well. I used to go there once a month with our Finnish circles. So how did you get the idea with your partners to open the Brew?
Well, at that point, Guangzhou was missing like a North American style sports bar. So we looked for a long time. It took us probably 1 year to find a good location. And then when we found it, we just kind of took the dive and plunged in. Back in 2010, there was still lots of optimism in the market, so anyone could do anything at that time, and so we decided to go for it.
Did you have some background on with restaurants or being an entrepreneur? Like, where did that come from that you wanted to start your own business?
I guess you could say the entrepreneurial spirit runs in the family.
Oh.
Lots of my parents, my grandparents, aunts and uncles have opened their own businesses quite a bit. So restaurants specifically, my grandparents, my mom, all had their own restaurants.
Oh, wow.
So I was used to it as a kid, and I knew what I was getting into, I guess.
Yeah, and now your own kids can see you open up, these restaurants, and perhaps when they grow up, who knows?
Perhaps. I don't know if I want that or not. We'll see.
So I can imagine that opening a restaurant is not easy, no matter where in the world we are, but especially being a foreigner, being an expat in China, like whether, different challenges and opening up and running their businesses, how is it like?
Well, in any business, when you start in something new, there's a lot of learning to go. Like you pay for your learning, basically trying to do it and then trying it again, and so it gets easier as you go along. In China, there are different challenges. They're not. I don't know what the word is. I don't know if I want to talk about all of them on TV or on a camera, but there are definitely different challenges in the West. The good thing about China, though, is there's so many opportunities and so many people that want to eat and drink and go out, especially in Guangzhou. It's a food-loving culture that there's a lot of markets. So if I opened a restaurant in a small town in Canada, there's only maybe 5,000 to 10,000 people that I can market to. Here, I can market to millions, really, really millions of people to come and check it out. So there's a huge opportunity, I guess. Like the number one question that people always ask me about owning a bar is like about the corruption. And they always assume that it's like the police and stuff like that, but it's not. In my experience, it's not as bad as what people think it might be. Maybe I've been lucky, maybe I've been smart, maybe I don't even know, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, maybe that's sometimes the image that people get, who are not in the business. They might think of, this home bars, going under the table, and these kind of things. And
it's I wouldn't open a club. That would be different. Opening the club would be like that, but restaurants, like sports bars, casual style, not so bad.
So if I may ask, when seeing, the Brew in the Guangzhou new town, changing to now a new restaurant of yours, the Bandidos, like if I may ask, why did you decide to close the Brews?
So the Brew in Panyu, we just felt that it had reached its time, and we wanted to open in this space actually. And then Brew Zhujiang, at that time, there was a lot of very similar restaurants and bars in the area. So there was Brew, there's also Morgan, there was Social & Co, there was 13 Factories, there was Bravo, there's just even outside that area a little bit bigger, there's other places. So we decided it needed a Mexican cantina. And you know, we didn't have to change a lot of stuff. It wasn't too difficult. Just new brand and new partners and start again. And yeah, that's why, really, just market opportunity basically.
Yeah, but it's been such a huge, you know, success. Like when we were actually shooting our very first video on this channel, we had a little quiz, and we were, you know, asking, you know, what are the top restaurants in the expat circles. And I asked a bunch of, you know, expat research groups what their favorites are, and pretty much everyone mentioned Bandidos.
Oh, that's great.
Everyone's talking about it. So like, what is the secret? Why is Bandidos, you know, the place that comes to people's minds and everyone just, you know, keeps raving about it?
I think like we got a lot of help. Obviously, we're so lucky to have a lot of, like, we have good staff, we have good like a lot of good friends who all, like, everyone helped us out. And I think there was just the opportunity there. We had an opportunity to create something that the market needed, the market wanted, and probably a lot of it is luck.
You know, I have to say, when I started hearing about, you know, you're opening the Guild where we are right now as well, and you know, right after, you know, this, you know, spring of, you know, a lot of bad luck and everything happening in the world, and here comes Rob, like, oh no, I'm opening a new place. So
why not, right?
Yeah, exactly. So when did you get this idea to open up a new place here?
So I've kind of been working on the concept for 2 or 3 years. We started construction in December before I think anyone had ever heard of COVID.
Yes.
So it just, at this point, now it's July. Now we just have to get the doors open and start going. We have a lot of confidence in the location. This mall will be really nice when it's ready to go. Lots of good restaurants, and you need an area like this where people can go and get good food and drinks, and you know, just relax with the family or go out and party.
What do you think is that will make Goat special?
Oh, that's a good question. So it's called Goat because Guangzhou has history with goats, young, right? But it's also greatest of all time. And we're not calling ourselves the greatest of all time. It's like, it's for the greats of all time. So as you can see, we already have Muhammad Ali on the wall behind us. We'll have a bunch of other sports stars.
If you think, you know, someone new, like especially an expat, and wanted to come into the restaurant business, as I can imagine, opening up a restaurant is probably a dream to many people, but not too many can succeed in it. So if someone is still, you know, fairly serious about it, what kind of tips could you give to such a person?
That's a good question. Definitely do research before you get into it. Don't just spend a lot of money on something. Your location is very important, very key, and only do it if you don't need that money.
Why do you say so?
Because restaurants are a tough business. You better, if you're going to get into it and you've never done it before, you better get into it with people who do have experience, because it's a very difficult business to do. And I mean, I don't know what numbers, you hear numbers like, oh, only 10% of restaurants survive. It's tough to make everything work. There's so many moving parts. So if you're just going to invest in a restaurant by yourself, be ready to give up your social life, your family life, and possibly your money. If you're willing to give up all those things, give me a call and I'll give you advice. Believe me, I'm always open to helping other people out.
Well, thank you, Rob, for inviting us for a little sneak peek, you know, at the Goat. It's so amazing, you know, to see this place, you know, getting ready, and just can't wait for the opening day.